the slow food movement essentially was facing a culture change, right? That there was declining appreciation for uh, homegrown food or food grown locally, and convenience and fast and began to be valued over, taking a couple of hours to cook a good meal and sit down with your family and enjoy it, right? And so the slow food movement succeeded by ultimately beginning to work at changing values in people as much as anything. It wasn't just about, buy this food, not that food. It was really about trying to change the underlying values that people have about food and family and friends and socializing and sustainability and the environment and their communities and all of these things tied together. One of the keys to their movement is they work on developing relationships between people who eat the food, who they call co-producers, and farmers and artisans who make the food. They believe that once you have that relationship, you're more likely to shop at your farmer's market, to choose that peach grown by your farmer as opposed to the peach at the grocery store that was trucked from hundreds of miles away. The next thing they realized was that to some degree people had lost their ability to appreciate good food, so they actively work on helping people cultivate their taste, so that they can appreciate what great food really tastes like, what homegrown food that a tomato grown in your backyard probably tastes a whole lot better than the tomato that you can buy in the grocery store. And then the third part really has to do with they foster these, they give people lots of entryways into the movement, right? They have festivals where people can come and sample food and meet farmers and meet one another. They go into schools and encourage people to grow their own gardens, and there are multiple pathways into this movement. And in fact, a lot of people have probably adopted slow food principles and don't even really realize it because it's so because they've sort of infiltrated in so many areas of society. One thing I do think about a lot with the slow food movement is that it's not actually about getting people to go out to 5-star restaurants. That's kind of they don't really even promote that. I mean, it is one consequence. I mean, it is in fact a truth that there are people who now have an appreciation for going to some of these restaurants in Europe and in the United States and having a 5-hour meal, and they may in fact spend an awful lot of money doing that. But the movement focuses on all of these very small and easy ways that people can really make this a part of every day of their lives. You can make that choice to, buy this tomato and not that tomato every day. You can every Saturday go to your farmer's market instead of this other grocery store, and that's really important. And how the arts kind of figure out a way to be part of people's everyday lives, I think, is really a critical thing.